The NFL playoffs are finally here, and this is everything that you're going to need to know. The number one seed in the AFC is the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is still that guy and is on his way to his second MVP. Now, the Chiefs aren't exactly the same team of old, but still are a huge threat and a potential Super Bowl winner. The biggest issue for the Chiefs has been the kicking game. Kansas City only has a 75% field goal percentage, and turnovers have been another issue. The Chiefs got a first-round bye and have made the AFC Championship every season Mahomes has been the starter, but there are some more holes than previous years. The Buffalo Bills hold the second seed. The biggest question for the Bills is going to be the passing game. When Josh Allen is on, he's unstoppable. Last year in the postseason, he threw over 600 yards and 9 touchdowns without a single interception in 2 games. And he's been amazing this season too, but turnovers have been an issue at times, and there's been a lot of drops. The Bills definitely have one of the best rosters in the league and are going to be a favorite to win it all for good reason. The Cincinnati Bengals were only 1 quarter away from being Super Bowl champs last year, but a late Cooper Kupp touchdown spoiled their hopes. Now, Cincinnati is back in the postseason as the 3rd seed. The Bengals are in a spot for another run, and Joe Burrow is playing even better this time around. The biggest worry for the Bengals is the same as it was a year ago: offensive line. Alex Kappa suffered an ankle injury in Week 18, and Cincinnati is already without La'el Collins after he suffered a torn ACL. The Bengals have won their last 8 games and have been one of the best teams in the league over the past couple of months. Now, moving on to the AFC South. It was a wild ride down the stretch, but the Jacksonville Jaguars took advantage of a late season collapse by the Titans. The Jaguars look like a completely different team under Doug Peterson compared to what they were under Urban Meyer, and Trevor Lawrence looks like a top quarterback in the league. Jacksonville has been weak in the pass rush, but the Jaguars are hot right now, and we finally get to see a taste of Trevor Lawrence in the postseason for the first time, and the same goes for Justin Herbert. The Los Angeles Chargers are the 5th seed and are going to have to visit Jacksonville in the wildcard round. The Chargers have dealt with a ton of injuries all season, but their health has improved. Joey Bosa is back on the defensive side of the ball, and the offense has looked much better since Keenan Allen and Mike Williams returned too. Los Angeles has been a bit inconsistent though, but if the Chargers can continue to hit their stride and stay hot, the Chargers do have the pieces to make some kind of run. Now, if there's an opposite of peaking at the right time, it's the Baltimore Ravens at the 6th seed. Lamar Jackson missed the last 5 games of the season with a knee injury, and if he doesn't return, the Ravens are likely going to have a tough way up. Luckily for the Ravens, Baltimore does have a stout defense though. The trade for Roquan Smith has paid off huge, and the Ravens do have a good roster, but everything is really going to depend on the health of Lamar Jackson. Even if he does return, it's been over a month since we've seen him hit the field. The 7th seeded Miami Dolphins also have a lot of questions around their quarterback situation. It isn't very hard to explain why the Dolphins are in the postseason. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. The Dolphins looked amazing early in the year, but everything has kind of fallen apart since. Tua Tagovailoa is in concussion protocol again, and the Dolphins are going to have to start either 7th round rookie Skylar Thompson or Teddy Bridgewater. The offense has been horrible without Tua, and Miami is going to have a near impossible task beating Buffalo without him. Now on to the NFC. The number 1 seed in the NFC is the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles have potentially the best roster in all of football and have been a top team in the league all season. Their defense led the league in passing defense and sacks, and Jalen Hurts has been fantastic. He did miss some time with a shoulder injury down the stretch, but returned in Week 18 to clinch the bye. The worry for Philadelphia? The Eagles haven't looked great in recent weeks, but you can possibly chalk that up to Hurts being out. Philadelphia is a great team, but they aren't exactly hot heading into the playoffs. The 2 seed? The San Francisco 49ers. Trey Lance season-ending injury. Jimmy Garoppolo goes down, and the Niners have to rely on rookie Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. It doesn't matter. San Francisco has won 10 straight and are easily the hottest team in football. The defense is dominant and the offense has been really good, especially since San Francisco traded for Christian McCaffrey. They can definitely make a run this year. The Minnesota Vikings are the highest seed in the NFC North with some serious concern. The Vikings have somehow managed to win all 11 of its 1-score games this year, an NFL record. Minnesota has a star-studded offense with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, but the defense has been, well, putrid. The Vikings have given up the most yards in the league and will likely be a very vulnerable team in the playoffs, especially if Kirk Cousins and the offense can't consistently put up a lot of points. The The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who had a losing record in the regular season, are the 4 seed. Tom Brady lucks out again. The Buccaneers have been injured pretty much all season, and who knows what this team even looks like in full health. Tristan Wirfs and Donovan Smith are going to be huge question marks on the offensive line, and pretty much the entire secondary is injured. The Buccaneers have been rough all season, and on paper appear to have virtually no chance to do anything in the postseason. But if we've learned anything over the past 2+ decades, don't count Tom Brady out in the postseason. The first wildcard spot in the NFC belongs to the Cowboys, who finished 12-5 but have to start the postseason on the road at Tampa Bay. The defense has been really good, but the health of Leighton Vander Esch and Jonathan Hankins is going to be huge for the run defense. Dallas is going to have a very difficult road to the Super Bowl with 3 straight road games if the Cowboys can fight their way through. The Cowboys' offense has been much improved since Dak Prescott returned from his thumb injury, but he's led the league in turnovers despite missing 5 games. That can definitely present an issue in the postseason if he can't be smart with the ball. The third NFC East team to make the postseason is the New York Giants, who nobody really expected to be here. Daniel Jones has looked much improved and has actually been one of the best quarterbacks in the league over the past few weeks. Saquon Barkley looks like his old self, and Brian Daboll has been absolutely incredible in his first year as a head coach. But there are plenty of worries. The Giants haven't been able to beat good teams and only beat one team all season that entered Week 18 with a winning record. Not to mention, New York had a negative 6-point differential this season. The Giants draw the Vikings in the wild card round. The Seattle Seahawks are surprisingly a playoff team the season after trading away Russell Wilson. Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw that coming, but Geno Smith has carried the load well. Seattle got off to a very hot start, but ended up struggling mid-season. But the Seahawks found their way back to be a pretty good team down the late stretch and make their way to the playoffs. The defense isn't exactly great, especially against the run, and the Seahawks are likely going to struggle big time in the wild card round versus the NFC West foe, 49ers. Me and Jackson put together our predictions for the NFL playoffs, and we seem to be united on one take. We both believe the San Francisco 49ers are going to host the Lombardi Trophy on February 12th. The only thing we actually disagreed on with the NFC was that I had the Buccaneers beating the Cowboys in the divisional round and Jackson didn't. We both ended up having an Eagles-49ers NFC championship. Now, there was a lot more differences on the AFC side of things. That potential Bills-Bengals divisional round matchup should be wild. I do think Buffalo wins it, and Jackson ended up taking Cincinnati. I have the Bills actually going all the way before eventually falling to the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and Jackson has a Super Bowl 54 rematch versus the 49ers and the Chiefs. But this time, he has the 49ers holding up the trophy. We both have the San Francisco 49ers winning the Super Bowl with Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win it all, and let us know how excited you are for the NFL playoffs.